when I look at it, is that I came back more open-minded. I also it is the opportunity to be an ambassador and to break some barriers of understanding. For example, when you go there, you can present the Fulbright. You're an ambassador for the U.S. And you can discuss with them some misunderstandings of the U.S. system or the U.S. educational system. But also, it's not only that we try to put our best foot forward. It's that always the host try to do the same. They want to break barriers and actually be able to clarify whatever they perceive their country is misportrayed as well. So that opportunity of awareness is quite enriching, right? And you were not, I was not expecting it. So that for the Fulbright experience, that was the thing that resonated with me the most. How when you stay in your bubble, things can look so different. When you are willing to step out of the bubble, then understanding and awareness it's what comes after it, and better integration. So it's you understand each other better, which is exactly the purpose of the Fulbright program. So it took me to go there to really understand why the Fulbright program is so needed. It's an important thing, especially right now.
I think something that resonated with me, or that I realized being in Colombia. So we're original from Venezuela. Colombia and Venezuela have very similar histories and culturally. So there are many things that culturally we're able to relate to and in a way feel at home. But we've been here for many years. The U.S. is home as well. Mm-hmm. And I think that realization of how those two cultures have grown in us it came much more evident being in Colombia, where there are just spaces that are very rich of Colombian culture and we feel at home, but there are other spaces, even in Colombia as well, where you have expat communities or even areas where a lot of people speak English, and it felt so good too. Every time I had a research meeting over Skype or Zoom with my graduate students, it felt so good to speak English again for some little period of time. And so I think it became very much more evident what it means to be really immersed in multicultural setting. And to me, that was quite important because it helps me understand more, students that are coming in as international students, even our own kids as they're going in, in a multicultural environment where we speak Spanish at home, but they have an entire environment in English. So having that flexibility to operate in both cultural settings, I think it's a very important asset and strength that we're empowering our kids with. At the same time, you feel that you're there, but you're not quite there. I mean,
but I think the flexibility part, we have discussed it before.
Yes.
Do you remember when we entered Colombia, one of the things we felt that we had to slow down? Remember that?
Yes.
Because the pace is so different. You have to be willing to here in the U.S. is one day after the other. You have the schedule. We joke with each other. We usually have our calendars planned for several months in advance or a year in advance. Back with our friends in Colombia, you couldn't do such a thing. You have to live the moment, and you have to plan for today
or maybe later today.
Which was wonderful. And you have to. Is again stepping out of your bubble. You understand things can be done differently, and it can done equally well. So that awareness is very important, and the flexibility that brings to it. It makes you a better person to understand there are different ways of doing things, and they are just as valid and both work.